The Alaska Triangle. Remote mountains, impenetrable forests, unexplored lakes and rivers. It's long been home to stories of strange and terrifying beasts. These creatures may have made the Alaska Triangle their home and could be behind any number of the bizarre disappearances. One of the most famous is the Hairy Man, half human, half beast, and if the stories are true, a man-killer.
If the hairy man's out here, he's a lot stronger than a normal human and can kill somebody with his bare hands.
The hairy man is a wild, hairy beast, and he can rip you in half.
A huge ape-like creature out for revenge and defending his territory. It's a gripping story. But could this beast really account for the hundreds of people going missing in the Alaska Triangle every year? A fascinating tale from the last century suggests the answer could be yes. And now, there's some intriguing new evidence that the hairy man may still be out there.
And right, dude had just peeked out of the tree right there.
The first stop on the journey to find the hairy man is the Port of Homer on the Kenai Peninsula, over 200 miles southwest of Anchorage. The town is known as the end of the road. From here, there's just one way to travel, and that's by boat. Now, Homer is the meeting place for a new expedition. If the hairy man exists, these three adventurers are determined to find him. Expedition leader is seasoned Bigfoot hunter, Stephen Major. For Stephen, this search is personal. He's been to the Kenai before.
I actually caught a glimpse of what I believe was the hairy man dashing between some trees. What I saw was a bipedal, hairy beast. I was dumbfounded because I was in shock because I was not expecting to see that. And I'll tell you what, it was very exciting.
Stephen is meeting up with Adam Davies, a leading cryptozoologist from Manchester, England. Adam's an expert tracker and has been on many expeditions on the hunt for mysterious, unknown creatures.
What I'm always after is getting credible scientific evidence that can be independently corroborated. Something that's tangible that will pass tests.
Stephen and Adam have recruited Army vet and police officer Larry Beans Baxter to help keep them safe. The Hairy Man expedition have chartered a boat to take them right down to the tip of the Kenai Peninsula. This is the renowned home of the Hairy Man. On his last expedition, Stephen took this photo. It's his foot next to a giant footprint. Whatever made this was massive. Dr. Robert Alley is a cryptozoologist and former professor of the University of Alaska. He's made a study of first-hand accounts.
The hairy man is a large, bipedal, completely hair-covered, man-like creature, very similar to Sasquatch or Bigfoot, possibly related, very large, up to maybe even 8 or 9 feet tall, very fast, very territorial, and it could be quite aggressive if provoked. These accounts are really widespread.
Stephen, Adam, and Beans prepare to go ashore. It's been nearly 70 years since all the residents were scrambling for the boats, fleeing for their lives, desperate to get away.
So these people must have been terrified of what was going on in the woods there. People were dying, body parts were being found, and it does give a reason why this place is still abandoned today. Hairy men clearly are territorial. If you're going into the area where he resides, you could get in trouble.
We've just arrived on the beach below the Portlock town site, and we're heading in there to go investigate part of the area where the old town used to be. So we're gonna have to stay on our toes. That's why we have these, to protect ourselves if necessary. But we definitely have to be cautious in our movement, be observant, and go slow.
The team have infrared trail cameras that are triggered by movement.
Good?
By setting them up along the trail, they hope to capture the first clear photograph of the hairy man.
Again, you've got that angle of elevation down and it gives us a nice clear view.
Any photo would be a world first, but Stephen is still set on a face-to-face encounter.
We've got some fresh tracks down here. Looks like a large animal, but they're freshly compacted, so something came through here very recently, yeah? The grass is compacted, there's been no spring upwards, they're new. Should we follow it?
Absolutely.
What do you say? Let's do it.
Right, dude, it just peeked out of the tree right there.
I see it, it's right at your 12.
Adam tries to draw whatever it is to them using his hairy man call.
Bean spotted some movement in the trees, and he called out and said, "Hey, I've got something." And I ran up the hill and I looked, and what I caught a glimpse of was something big, tall, and hairy. But it took off, boom, as soon as it saw me. And then I started following up on it, and before I knew it, it was 100 yards from me.
Adam was on deck, and he thought he heard something. He pointed his camera to the shore, and he gave his best hairy man call.
So I made a call out, and almost directly after I made that call, I saw a large creature, what appeared to be bipedal, rushing rapidly down the hillside, through the woods, towards us.
Adam got out his infrared camera, and this is the footage. It's thermal imaging, and this white shape is something giving off a lot of heat. It's moving as well, and so has to be an animal of some sort, but it's difficult to tell what.